Shalom, more praise to Yahweh Shemal, Shah, the blind, see apostle, GMS. This is Another Allah coming at you with the video. And in this video, I'm going to be focusing on the book of second Ezra, Matthew, chapter 16, verse 1. So let's get right to it. Matthew chapter 16, verse 1. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came, and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. So the Pharisees and the Sadducees had desired that Yahweh Shah showed them a sign from heaven. In other words, prove to us that you are the Messiah. Prove to us that you are the Son of the Most High, that you're the one that was sent to give salvation to the children, to die for the sins of Israel, to give them salvation. They wanted to see a sign from God, from the Most High. They wanted him to show that sign. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. So right there he's saying, when it's evening, you would say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. Now look at an image of that. Now I just went on Google and typed in sky red. This is from AI overviews. This is from various websites. As you can see just above that picture, those three circles there, and it says +2. That's telling you where these things are coming from. These sites are coming from. I could just click on that, but you probably could look this up. It says the sky appears red when sunlight passes through an atmosphere that scatters blue light, leaving only red light. This can happen at sunrise or sunset, and is often due to dust and other particles in the air. Why did the sky appear red? Rayleigh scattering. Air molecules and other particles in the atmosphere scatter sunlight, reddening it. Low-angle sunlight. When the sun is low in the sky, enough Rayleigh scattering occurs to remove the blues from sunlight. Clouds reflect red colors back to our eyes. Dust and pollution. Dust and pollutants in the air can tone down the colors in the sky. See, look, red sky at night. A red sky at night can mean that high pressure is moving in from the west, and the next day will be dry and pleasant. The saying red sky at night, sailor's delight, refers to this phenomenon. Red sky in the morning. A red sky in the morning can mean that there's clear air to the east, but clouds overhead. The saying red sky in the morning, sailor take warning refers to this phenomenon. So let's go back to the scriptures. So it says, he answered, Matthew 16:4. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. When it's evening, night, right? It's red sky at night, sailor's delight. So they believe that it will be fair weather. And in the morning, it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. Lowering meaning like threatening. Red sky in the morning, sailor take warning. See? Look at the word lowering.
Strong's G 4768. Stugnadzo.
To be sad, sorrowful, of the sky covered with clouds. But if you go to lowering on Google Images, on Google, it says lowering is an adjective that means dark, threatening, or gloomy. It can also be used to describe a face or gaze that is frowning, sullen, angry, or scowling. So it means, like, and even Blue of the Bible says lowering to have a gloomy, somber appearance. See, to have a gloomy, somber appearance. Somber, gloomy. So we know what it means when it says lowering. Remember, red sky at night, sailor's delight. They believe it will be fair weather in the morning. Red sky in the morning, sailor take warning. They believe there will be foul weather. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, you can discern, so you could discern or distinguish or determine the face of the sky. So you can look into the sky and you can determine the weather. But can you not discern the signs of the times? So you can look and determine these carnal things, these earthly things, but you can't look and determine the times, these spiritual things. So it shows you that they weren't being, right then and there, it shows you that they weren't being spiritual, they're being carnal. Right then and there. Because they can only discern the face of the sky, but they can't discern the signs of the times. Because if they would discern the signs of the times, they would be able to understand that Yahushua was the Messiah. Verse 4. Matthew chapter 16, verse 4. A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign. So a wicked and an adulterous generation seeks after a sign. Now why would he call them wicked? Well, one, you calling them wicked because they aren't discerning the times. They aren't being spiritual. And the Pharisees was wicked anyway. They was always coming up against Yahushua, making up railing accusations against them and trying to find ways to entrap him. So they were carnal, they were wicked. And they weren't spiritual because they didn't discern the signs of the times. And he says a wicked and adulterous generation. Why would he call them adulterous? Because the Pharisees, Sadducees, they were Israelites. And if you know anything about the scriptures, the children of Israel is likened unto being the Most High's wife. Let's get a scripture on that. Jeremiah 6:2. I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. So the Most High had likened the children of Israel to a beautiful and delicate woman. So that's what we are to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. We're his woman, so to speak. We're married unto him, close unto him. Being that we're married unto him, we're his wife and he is our husband. And if we was to go to another husband or another god, so to speak, it's like we're committing adultery or spiritual fornication against him by worshiping the false god. Okay? So it's like we're adulterous, spiritual adultery. Here's another scripture, Jeremiah 3:14. Turn, O backsliding children, saith the Lord. Saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Look at the word backsliding. Shawab. Backsliding, backturning, apostate, recusant, i.e. idolatrous, backsliding, forwardly, turn away. What does recusant mean? Recusant means someone who refuses to conform to established standards or obey authority. An apostate is someone who has given up their religious or political beliefs, in this case spiritual beliefs. The word apostate comes from the Greek word apostasia, which means falling away. Synonyms for that is renegade or turncoat. Let's see if we can get the definition of backsliding too. Backsliding is the act of reverting to bad habits or sinful behavior after having improved. So Israel is backsliding. It was given the Lord's statutes and commandments coming from Egypt after being in captivity, but now they went on. In time they went on to backslide. They started to worship other gods and keep the customs and traditions and practices of other nations, and neglect the Lord's statutes and commandments that was given unto them by the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, by the hands of Moses on Mount Sinai. And even right here it says in Christianity, which we're not Christians. Well, we are technically, we are followers of Yahushua. We just not a part of it. We just don't identify as being a part of the religion. In Christianity, backsliding is when a Christian turns away from the Most High and reverts to their pre-conversion habits. Yeah, that's basically it, right? So let's go back. It says, turn, O backsliding children, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, for I am married unto you, and I will take you one of a city and two of a family, and will bring you to Zion. And I will give you passes according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. That's our apostles, our elders. Yahushua also was one that the Most High gave as a pastor according to his own heart. Okay? His own desires. Another scripture. Judges 2:17. And yet they would not hearken unto their judges, but they went a whoring after other gods, and bowed themselves unto them. They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in, obeying the commandments of Yahweh Shah, but they did not so. See, they backslid, turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in, obeying the commandments of Yahweh Shah, but they did not so. Did not we go to the word backslide, going back to your pre-conversion ways, or going back from that righteous way? You look at the word recusant, the word apostate, the word backslide. So when you go back from that righteous way, when you go back from what you improved, you backslid. And it says they went a whoring after other gods and bowed themselves unto them. They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in. Nah. To commit fornication, be a harlot, play the harlot. To commit adultery, so they commit spiritual fornication, spiritual adultery. Right? So it says a wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign. So why were they seeking for a sign? We read that earlier. But Yahweh had already done many signs. He had already healed the sick and so on and so forth. He had healed the sick. He had done, his first sign was when his first miracle was when he turned water to wine. So he already did various signs. But they still, so it's a sign from the Most High, which shows you that they disregarded all of the other things that he done. Because they were still bucking up against him. They were still being rebellious. And there shall no sign be, I'm not giving you no more signs. He said, man, I ain't gonna give you no more signs. You know what you're gonna get? And there shall no sign be given unto it. So there was a wicked and adulterous generation who sought for a sign. They was wicked because they was disregarding the divinity of Yahweh Shah, and they were adulterous, spiritual adulterous in the aspect of they were neglecting the Father. They neglected the Son who the Father had sent. 1 John 2:23. Whosoever denieth the Son, the same hath not the Father, but he hath acknowledged the Son. But he that acknowledges the Son hath the Father also. So they denied the Son, so they didn't have a Father. So they were spiritual adulterers, if you will. You know? They were being rebellious. And spiritual adulterers because they had not accepted the Most High. The one who is the Most High has sent, which is the Son. Their spiritual husband, if you will. So they were being rebellious. Real quick. St. John 2:9. When the ruler of the feast had tasted the water that was made wine, and knew not whence it was, but the servants which drew the water knew, the governor of the feast called the bridegroom and said unto him, every man at the beginning doeth set forth good wine. We had good wine at the beginning, and when men have well drunk, then that which is worse. But thou hast kept the good wine until now. In other words, the wine that Yahweh Shah made was better than the water that Yahweh Shah had turned into wine was better than the wine that they had before. This beginning of miracles did Yahweh Shah in Cana of Galilee, and manifested forth his glory, and his disciples believed on him. Real quick, St. John 9:13. No, St. John 9. And as Yahweh Shah passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Yahweh Shah answered, neither hath this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of the Most High should be made manifest in him. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. When he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground and made clay of the spittle, and he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay. Let me jump down a little bit. I'll keep reading. And said unto him, Go wash in the pool of Siloam, which is by interpretation sent. He went his way therefore, and washed, and came seeing. So he received the sight. The neighbors therefore, and they which before him had seen him that he was blind, said, Is not this he that sat and begged? Some said, This is he. Others said, He is like him. But he said, I am he. I'm him. Some said, No, he's kind of like the guy. He said, No, that's me. Therefore said they unto him, How were thine eyes open? He answered and said, A man that is called Yahushua made clay, and anointed my eyes, and said unto me, Go to the pool of Siloam and wash. And I went and washed, and I received sight. Then said they unto him, Where is he? He said, I know not. They brought to the Pharisees him that aforetime was blind. So they brought this guy to the Pharisees, the man that was once blind. And it was the Sabbath day when Yahushua made the clay and opened his eyes. Then again the Pharisees also asked him how he had received the sight. He said unto them, He put clay upon mine eyes, and I washed and do see. Therefore said some of the Pharisees, This man is not of the Most High, because he keepeth not the Sabbath day. Others said, How can a man that is a sinner do such miracles? And there was division among them. So then there was division. Some were saying, Well, if he's a sinner, how could a person that's a sinner have this power to be doing these such miracles? But the Pharisees were like, Nah, man, he didn't keep the Sabbath. So there was an issue. So the Pharisees had knew. I could read more. So the Pharisees had knew that Yahushua had done miracles. He had done miracles before. He had done miracles after. That's the reason why I had brought up the first miracle that he did, to show that first miracle that he did, people knew about him from that. People had known. His name went out into the cities that this man could perform miracles. Yahushua. Matthew 16:4. A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it. So even though Yahushua performed miracles, they still will show us a sign. Show us a sign. It's like a person that does something, and somebody say, "Well, I bet you can't do it again." But the person already did it. So they knew Yahushua performed miracles. They still wanted to deny him. And there shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas, and he left them and departed. And that will be when Yahushua would die, he'd be crucified and he'd be risen. So, and remember, Jonah was in the belly of the 3 days, belly of the fish. And when you read in the Gospels, it says whale, which that goes into a whole nother topic. A sea creature, I should just say. He was in his belly for 3 days. Just as Yahushua was going to be risen after 3 days. Okay? And he left them and departed. So that's gonna be the sign they're gonna show. That I'm gonna be risen again. That's how you're gonna see that. That's gonna be a sign you're gonna get. I'm gonna give you that sign. Because he was gonna rise from the dead after being crucified. And that's basically it. So with that, I'm gonna say, oh praise the Yahweh Shemel Shah. Double lines to the Apostle GMS. As a matter of fact, I'll just dig into the scripture real quick. The scripture that Matthew in Psalm 16th chapter, where it says he wasn't gonna suffer his Holy One to see corruption. Let me get that real fast. Psalm 16:10. For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, in the grave. Neither wilt thou suffer thine Holy One to see corruption. In other words, Yahushua's body wasn't going to decompose, because he was going to be risen. When you read now Acts 2:27, because thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thy Holy One to see corruption. That's just quoting the scripture that we just read. Thou hast made known to me the ways of life. Thou shalt make me full of joy with thy countenance. Men and brethren, let me freely speak unto you of the patriarch David, that he is both dead and buried, and is sepulchre with us unto this day. So we read in Psalm 16, that was David speaking. Therefore being a prophet, but he wasn't talking about himself, even though he was saying it. Therefore being a prophet, and knowing that the Most High has sworn with an oath to him that of the fruit of his loins, according to the flesh, he will raise up the anointed to sit on his throne. He's seeing this, him knowing this, him seeing this, right? Before he's seeing this before spake of the resurrection of Yahushua. He spoke of the resurrection of Yahushua being resurrected, that his soul was not left in hell, neither did his flesh see corruption. This Yahushua had the Most High raised up, whereof we are all witnesses. So that was going to be the sign that the Pharisees would see. Yahushua being known. That was going to be the sign that was going to be given, that he was going to be risen. That was going to be the sign that would be given, that he would be risen. So that's going to be the sign y'all going to get. Because when Yahushua had risen, remember, he was among his believers. He didn't look, Pharisees, I'm alive. He was among the believers, his disciples. But that was a sign that he was the Messiah, that he had risen again, because his body wasn't going to be in that sepulcher. Okay? That's going to be the ultimate sign. Okay? So with that, I'm going to close and say, oh, praise to Yahweh Shemel Shah, devil lines to the apostle GMS. Because why? He wasn't going to see corruption. So with that, I'm going to close and say, so he wasn't going to see corruption. So that was that sign that they was going to get, that was going to be given. Okay? That was the sign that he was the Messiah. You know? Because we read in the scriptures and Psalms that he was going to be risen. They mentioned in the Acts that he was risen. So that's going to be the sign. But Yahushua had rose and he was among his disciples. He was among the believers. But that was the ultimate sign from heaven that he was the Messiah. That was the ultimate sign that the Most High had shown from heaven, because that fulfilled the scripture. So with that, I'm going to close and say, oh, praise Yahweh Shemel Shah, double line, say positive GMS. I hope you learn something. Shalom.